Hi everyone, I'm Mike and welcome to Outdoor Adventure and Gear. Today we're going to take a look at Amazon's #1 best-selling tent, the Coleman Person Sundome. I picked this up for my wife and I to go camping in the future, but in my area we have to use it because I grabbed the wrong tent out of my backpacking closet. So not only is this going to be a first impression video, it's going to get used tonight. So here we go. As you can see, I got the navy blue 7x5, 4 foot in the center, and not a backpacking tent, 7 pounds heavy. All right, so let's see what we got. She's got 2 little ties. All right, 10 poles, stakes. Let's see what kind of stakes they send them with it. I wonder if it's those straight ones. They're adequate. Yep, that's the same ones I've gotten on a lot of tents like this. I do own the Coleman 4-person pop-up I've had for several years. Used it at the beach, camping, and my son borrowed them one time for a concert, so the review for that will be coming up. But this is just a first impression. Okay. I'm thinking this is a ground sheet. We'll take a look at that later and see exactly what that is. Here's the fly. Oh, it's nice to see they already have some guy lines pre-attached. Regular nylon cord, but it'll work. And the tent body. You can tell right now that bottom is pretty thick. But for $35, you can't go wrong. All right. So that's everything it comes with straight out of the box. I'm going to set this up and we'll take you through the inside and see what it looks like. Now, when putting this tent together, you will crisscross the poles over the top of the tent and they will be inserted through these sleeves. They go through pretty well because the sleeves are not extremely tight compared to the size of the pole, but because of the type of poles these are, excuse me, there's a plane going over right now, would happen to be like that. With the connection being on the outside, sometimes these little sleeves will hang up, but it's not often. It's usually on tents where this sleeve is like this. Then it's really bad. But they give you a lot here, so it's not that bad, not by any means, and it didn't snag up very much on me. I just wanted to take that back apart and show it to you. And like I said again, look at the stitching on there, great stitching. Now, when you get to the corners, each of these corners has a peg and a loop. These are stainless steel. This peg will insert into the pole like this, and then that's where you'll get your arch for the pole. And then you'll run your stake through these little stainless steel loops on each corner and tighten her up as you need. Okay guys, they want you to put the rain fly pole in separate from the tent, looks like. So there's a pocket on one side over there, and there's a pocket on this side. So I'm going to do this in one movement. I'm going to push the pole one way and pull the material the other to get that in. And it's not really hard. And they also have these Velcro straps to keep the pole in place, which I think I'm going to need that when I put this on top. And as you can see too, this rain fly has been taped. Great stitching and tape. So I'm looking forward to when I can get a video and actually test this out in the rain. Although tonight's just a first impression. Okay guys, as you can see, I got the tent all set up, but there's a couple things I want to go over that aren't very clear in the instructions that should be, but it doesn't take away from anything about how good this tent is, especially for $35. I even think it's a good deal for $70, which I think is the current price right now on Amazon. But number one, this fly. The ridge pole that they have going through this to support it, there is no hole at the top. And I didn't find that out. I looked in the instructions, didn't find it out till I was putting it together. It actually bridges like this on top of the other two poles. Now it is secure, and I actually do think it would hold up to some wind very well. They say this tent will hold up to 35-mile-an-hour winds. It might. I haven't put it to that test yet. This is just a first impression. But it's going to be a little awkward if you're putting it up by yourself. Just take your time. I mean, if you're familiar with these type of tents, you're not going to have that much of a problem. But if you're not, you might need an extra set of hands. Now I'm going to take you on a walk on the inside. Here we go. Let's check this out. As you can see, it's got a really nice cover for the zipper, which will help. I hope this doesn't get too worn in time and starts to interfere with the zipper's functions, but I think that's pretty much on a lot of tents these days. Very spacious inside, very spacious inside. You can see you got a tent caddy here. You've got a back window that we're going to open up in a minute. You've got another side gear caddy. All right, let's climb inside and see what we got. Okay, shoes are off, we're heading in. Alrighty. Plenty of room. Definitely a good 5x7. Easily 4 foot tall. She's got a nice little ring here that you can hang anything. I'll probably hang a light from that tonight. A nice back door window. Right now, I'm feeling really good airflow. It is a lightly breezy day. Not overly windy, but breezy. We got 2 good sections to get airflow out of. And the front door. But the bathtub walls are, that's 6 to 8 inches up. But right now, I'm not seeing any light anywheres or any frayed stitches, any loose threads, any tears, any kinks. This is all for $35. And you do have your little zipper here. This is so you can run electronics in, your little eco port. I think that's what they call it. Which if you needed to, you could let a little air in, but you could also always take the outside rain fly off, and then you've got plenty of airflow in here. But even right now, I've got more than I need. As you can see, I'm still on the inside of the tent, but it has a nice double zipper which closes really good to give you access to a vented window at the front door. So you've got this one, the door, both sides, and the back. You've got the rain fly pulled out here. I think this will be a good, nice late spring, summer tent, maybe early fall. Definitely not a 4-season tent, but I don't think you can be beat for $35. This little extra piece of material that they put inside is actually a kneeler that you can put at the front of your tent. I always carry a tarp or some kind of ground sheet, so I really don't need it. It'll probably just be a gear catch-all. But it is great that they give you that in such a inexpensive tent. I'm not going to say cheap tent, because from what it's made of and how good it is erected now, it's not cheap. I think it's made very well. So that's my first impression of the Coleman Sundome 2-person tent. Because of my lack of planning and grabbing the wrong tent, my wife and I have got to use this tonight, but I'm going to put a lot more uses in it before I give a review. First impressions, for $35, I think it's worth it. For $70, I think it's worth it, just by construction alone. But we'll see how she does tonight. Unfortunately, it's not going to rain, but that's for the next review. Well, guys, it's the morning after. How many of us heard that statement? We spent the night in the Coleman tent. Everything worked out great. I just wanted to add a couple notes that we noticed about it. And one's kind of a con, but it's anything that has to do with that shape of a tent. Due to the D-shaped door, I let my wife sleep close to it so she could get out easily when she needed to. But be aware that if you if you have two people sleeping in that tent, the person farther away has got to climb over the other person. Uh, the second thing we noticed, which is really a pro, is it got down to about 40 degrees last night, and there is no condensation at all inside the tent. And that was with me having the door zippered up and the back window. So that's about it. I'm gonna enjoy my coffee. We're gonna get the day started, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.